boom to your faces. But I caught you off guard on that one, didn't you? Ladies and gentlemen, I am the Bibby with the Poet Warriors, never forget it. And today I would like to do another little capsule review. I know we've been doing a lot of film reviews. We're going to be sneaking some more snacks up in there. But I've just found myself with a lot of extra time and I thought I would go through my list of things to watch. So I've been doing that. And today I'd like to talk about this one. Boom. No Country for Old Men. This was a really interesting film. Kind of like a modern age Western. Set, I don't know. I'm assuming like Arizona or something. It wasn't very clear. I mean, it's like, you know, the cartel's involved, so I mean, maybe New Mexico. I don't know, somewhere close to the border for sure. Kind of a basic storyline. The film was okay. I enjoyed watching it. It was nothing special. It was nothing crazy. The acting was fine. Uninspired storyline, I suppose. I mean, it's that typical, you know, cartel bust gone wrong. This dude who is like a retired marshal or something found the money and is hunted by the dude who's in charge of protecting the money, and yeah, very, very basic, unoriginal story with a very original end that I didn't like. I won't tell you how it ended because I do think people should watch this movie, and I'll get into why in a minute. But props to them for the super original ending. You know, unoriginal story that they kind of, you know, make into an original ending, so to speak, which kind of took me by surprise. But at the same time, I appreciate what they were doing. I didn't like the end. I thought the movie had so much going for it. Like, it's so much adrenaline, very fast paced, good pacing, lots of cool action. And then it just kind of fizzled out, and like the ending that we were all waiting for and kind of somewhat expecting just kind of happened. And we didn't even get to see it. We just kind of found out by other people's reactions to it. It was a very odd thing. I just don't think it really hit the mark there. But again, props to them for trying something, you know, like I would way rather them try and do something and fail as opposed to watching the same shit over and over and over again. So point to them for that. Like I said, cast was great, acting was fine, story was uninspiring, you know, acting, nothing really came of it apart from one of the stars, the hitman. Boom. I have his name up, so I everyone knows who he is. Javier Bardem. Anton Chigurh? I don't know, I'm sorry. I didn't know he had a second, you know, another couple of names. I know him as Javier Bardem. I'm sure a lot of people do, but I was like researching, you know, doing my homework for this film, and apparently he's got 4 names, so missing on those ones. But, I mean, obviously he plays the villain in like everything, but he completely carried this film. If it wasn't for him, this film would have been nothing. We'll come back to him in a minute because I want to focus on him. Cinematography, fine. They did do some cool stuff with silhouettes, but very infrequently and kind of glossed over it. Like, they set up some really cool stuff and just kind of let it die. It was very odd, because if they had continued with that, like there's this scene in a motel where he's waiting in the dark with a shotgun. Like, it was very, very nicely done. That scene was very, very cool. And there was a lot of opportunity for more of those kind of scenes. If you've seen the film, you know what I'm talking about. I'm trying not to give too much away because, like I said, I think everyone should watch it. Cinematography, yeah, like fine. The setting, the scenery, it was kind of guerrilla style-ish. The scenes in the desert were awesome. You know, we've talked a lot about the setting and scenery and, like, you know, how to frame your shots so you've got stuff in the background to convey a certain thing, right? Like mountains, trees, whatever, the blue sky, rainy, storm, you know, these things convey different things. So This kind of took it a step further and flipped it, and it was the absence of things that promoted the film, that pushed the film, right? You know, there was all these really cool, long drawn out scenes in the middle of the New Mexico, Arizona desert, whatever, that forced you to focus on what they wanted you to focus on. It was a very interesting and a very cool choice. Like, the absence of scenery promoted the acting, you know, above probably what it was worth, and the story and the events that happened. It was very cool. It was very cool. Another huge point there. So, going back to Javier Bardem, this might be one of the best performances I've seen of anything. I'm not sure if I think it probably creeps into top 10. I don't know if it's top 5, but I think it creeps into top 10. I haven't seen anything like this in a really long time, to be honest. Exactly, you know, yeah. Speechless. So he played the hitman, who is just a psychopath, a complete psychopath, in a really interesting way. Like, they talk a lot about how, yeah, he's this hitman, but he doesn't do it for money, he doesn't do it for morals, like, he just likes killing people, like, he's messed up in the head. He kills people with those livestock killer, like, air gun things that shoots the rod, like, into the forehead, which is just crazy. Flips a coin to, you know, lets you call it, so you decide if you live or die, you know, kind of like Two-Face from Batman. It was a really, really cool role that he did a lot with. It honestly may be one of the best kind of psychopath performances I've ever seen. I heavily regard probably the greatest, Jack Nicholson in The Shining. I mean, impeccable. You can't beat that, right? I think this is a close second. Or it's getting up there, you know? Comparing it to The Shining, you know, there you've kind of got psychopath in, like, the highest degree, right? And you're super over the top and just maniac. Mr. Bardem here, you couldn't take your eyes off of him. He did maniac, he did like this psychopath in a really original way. Like, it was more like he was just void of everything. Like, if you know, Jack Nicholson's character is up here, you know, he's there just kind of still dead, you know, like, just, I can't even describe it. I think everyone needs to watch this movie just for the portrayal of his character in this film. It was a really, really, like I said, really interesting film. Excuse me. I like westerns. This is like a, you know, a modern age western. But yeah, man, he stole the show and carried the film. You couldn't take your eyes off of him. And like, you know, it kind of just the way he carried himself, everything about him was just disturbing. Like, he was really messed up. It was just disturbing. He added to the tension, he added to the kind of, I don't know what the word is, horrific factor, the gore that wasn't blood, you know, like, just that core gory feel, I suppose. The ruthlessness, the bloodlust, you know, just the intelligence too. Wow. The opening scene of the film is him being arrested and, like, killing the guy who arrested him. And you just see this. It opens with, like, this close-up on his face of him killing the guy. Like, he's enjoying it, he's struggling, he's like... It's the most emotion you see from him in the entire film. And then after that, it kind of just sets the tone of his character, and then he doesn't need to do anything else. Like, that opening scene with him was so powerful and established him as this character so well that he didn't need to do anything else with the role. So then the rest of it was just kind of juxtaposed so heavily that it gave you this really unsettling feeling, because you know what he's capable of, and he's just there, like, kind of dead calm and methodical and, like I said, intelligent. It was a very interesting take. I don't know if he's responsible for that. I do know he's quite a quite an actor. Like, he's got chops. His character work is very good. I've seen him in Skyfall. He's in Pirates of the Caribbean, obviously. Definitely the best thing I've seen him in, by far. Eggy agrees. She's meowing. But yeah, go watch this film. It was, like I said, just for him. It was crazy.
Tasty.